Hey guys, it's the Sunday before the big challenge. It is April sometime or another. Whatever, the 30th is Wednesday, 1st is Thursday, and that's the big day that matters. This is my second side quest, the Veterans of the Long Hobby. I've been in miniature painting for about 5 years, I guess, 5.5. I started out where my wife and I moved to about 7 years ago. I had been a school teacher beforehand, and there were no teaching jobs when we moved in town. And as a result, I had about an 8-month period of that I was unemployed. I didn't do anything, and did all the yard work. There was a lot of housework that needed done. Like I had to trim back there's a hedge along one side of the yard that had not been trimmed in about a decade, and I would cut on that until all the power batteries died for my saws. And then come back in and then do it again the next day, charge them up. And was looking for something to do with my time, because all I was doing was playing video games and goofing around. Ended up volunteering at an animal shelter. And I remembered, it's like, I like to paint models at one point. Maybe I'll go and pick one up. And we went to Hobby Lobby, and she was looking for yarn or whatever, and I picked up an old Roman sailboat and put that together. And I was like, this was kind of fun. And so I built and built and built, did some military models, and then discovered that there were Lord of the Rings miniatures, and these were of course GW's Lord of the Rings miniatures. And I'm a big Tolkien fanatic. Bought a bunch of those and tried to paint them up, and they're all horrible. No, the miniatures are fine, but my paint job is horrible. And then found out that there were communities fairly close, like 45 minutes from where I am, that got together and played these. And over a slow period of time, I got into it. My first army was actually a Warhammer Fantasy army, the little dwarves. This is, let's see, we get it nice and lit up. Oop, far away and close. Nope, wrong way. There we go. And it's just the dwarf king with his shield bearers, and it's not even based. It's decently painted, but it's not. At a scale of 1 to 10, like say on Cool Mini or not, I'd put it at like a 5. There's colors, there's a little bit of dry brushing, but there's no washes on this at all. Wrong focus, Daniel's on. But it was fun to build, and so that's honestly all that really matters. Oop, wrong way. Here we go. And so, that's what got me into it. I have about 100 dwarves. A good number of them painted. I even have the old metal gyrocopter painted up. You can notice the pilot's missing. He's waiting to get painted. And the reason that a lot of this is in disarray is because nobody plays Warhammer Fantasy that I know. There are some people in town that play, some people in Charlotte that play, but none of them are buddies of mine or people that I know and people that I can call up and say, hey man, you want to get a game together? And my buddy in town, he plays War Machine, which I'll eventually have a nice Menoth army for that one once I get that painted up. And because it's only like number 15 or 16 on my priorities list for modeling. But yeah, I've been in the miniatures gaming hobby for a couple of years now. Pretty dedicated at painting, at least. The gaming side of it, I like the gaming side of it. I have turned out to be not a very great tactician, and so if you ever play me, you'll probably do really well. And but I still like to play, and to me that's the key. And more importantly, I like to paint all these things. I mean, painting the models to me is above and beyond more fun than playing the games. I guess if I played more games, I might think differently. But painting them, getting them all put together and assembled and whatnot. Speaking of which, I do have the Bretonnian King primed up and ready to roll for Thursday. I'm going to start with the Griffin here, and then the King, and the Shield and the King will all go at the same time. And then finally the base, which that's going to be pretty easy. I may have to go over the wood is pretty rough, so I may try to sand it back down and then reprime it, or I may just put on a thick layer of putty or wood glue to try to fill in the top part of the the wood and give it a smoother sheen. Probably should have put some resin, not resin, but varnish on it, but you know, didn't think about that till right now. Anyway, hope you guys have had a good weekend. Hope you guys are having fun. Super shout out to the Dark Penguin Miniman painting, and I think it was Tony, the other guy from Cali, I think, who also, I think you're the same guy who does the Grey Knights. I'm not sure, but we got together and had a little chat. So we went from Yorkshire all the way to the West Coast, so that was pretty good. And Missouri, I think, was in there, and North Carolina for me. Anyway, good luck. Hope you guys are ready for Thursday, and I am out of here.